Armies cost money, especially good ones. If Viserys had been able to afford a half-decent sellsword army, he wouldn't have still been tooling around the free cities. That's why the Dothraki were such a windfall, or so he thought. Here's this massive horde to invade Westeros, and all he needs to pay them is his sister. Nice deal, right? Hello everyone, if you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and click the notifications bell, so you don't miss any new updates on your favorite TV series. The Golden Company in particular are essentially the Iron Bank of sellsword companies. They don't like to lose, they're generally reliable, and they don't fuck around. In the books, Viserys does try to hire the Golden Company, or at least make overtures, before the events of the first novel. Viserys had once feasted the captains of the Golden Company, in hopes they might take up his cause. They ate his food and heard his pleas and laughed at him. Easy, he didn't have any money. At first, he and Dany were well received by merchants and leaders in free cities. As time passes, it became clearer the Targaryen siblings were out of the political game in Westeros. He had to sell the scarce Targaryen jewelry left to have food in his and Dany's stomachs. Makes me almost feel sorry for the guy. Despite being as dumb as a brick, he lived for his ideals and taught Dany everything about the Targaryens, Westeros, and the Iron Throne. Not all of these shortcomings were Viserys' fault, at least at first. As a child in the Red Keep, Viserys was sheltered by his mother, and his second son unexpected to inherit anything but the ruins of Summerhall, so his lessons would not have been geared towards rule. And when he fled to Dragonstone and later Braavos as a young child, his caretakers apparently did nothing to correct this. He wasn't trained at arms, despite his guardian being a master of arms. For crying out loud, there were no tutors to teach him diplomacy, history, or any other areas required for rule. This could be because Viserys chose not to, and Darry wouldn't disobey his king, or simple negligence on Darry's part. I'm inclined to believe negligence, given that Darry signed a betrothal contract on Viserys' behalf but never mentioned it. If Viserys had been properly educated and included in plans for his kingship, he may have had the chance to create alliances with the free cities, and with Westerosi lords. Instead, all he had were useless loyalists, and Dorne. As he grew and Darry died, he could have corrected his education, but simply continued to believe alliance and the throne were his due. Dorne was a shitty alliance. When Darry died, and the Targaryens turned out of the house in Braavos, Dorne should have made moves to have them protected instead of just assuming that the betrothal would be enough. Nobles and merchants in the free cities became bored with Viserys as time went on and there was no throne in sight. If Viserys had been educated, he would have realized that his Valyrian superiority wasn't enough, that there needed to be rewards, like, help me get my throne back, and I will give you this castle / give you this position / grant you my sister in marriage / etc. Yet another thing that went wrong was Viserys' possessiveness of Daenerys. He could have gained so much more for her hand than he was promised with the Dothraki, who would have been hated by all of his allies. He could have offered her to Highgarden to wed Willis Tyrell, giving them royal blood, or Quentyn Martell, freeing him up to marry Margaery. Viserys failed the Game of Thrones by being uneducated. Poor alliances by his guardians and himself. By fumbling Dany's marriage. Thanks for watching, please don't forget to like this video and drop comments. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.